Okay, I just want to make a quick video update for you. So I moved the piano away from the wall, tried to crawl behind it to find out what the kind of buzzing interference noise was, and it turned out that the buzzing interference noise were these big mason jars. So mason jars were sitting inside the piano, which is totally appropriate for keeping moisture in the instrument. However, they were physically in contact with the soundboard, which is the back of the piano, and we were getting, it's not going to do it now, but we were getting a meow meow sound of the glass against the soundboard. So the physical interference of these two parts means that these jars are just too large for their intended purpose of allowing water to evaporate into the instrument over the winter. They are unrelated to this kind of exoskeleton repair. That gray matter you see, that is the epoxy that we've applied all over that brace in the steel plate. And, you know, when we've done this, we've had incremental, modest success in trying to stabilize the high end of the piano. Basically, your piano is playable in the mid-range and low end, kind of typical of a spinet, which this piano is a spinet. It's the nature of this type of piano. We have a shorter speaking length, so it's a little brassy just by the nature of the scaling of the instrument. But everything floats like crazy in the high end. So I'm not sure what best practices here for this instrument are, because we don't want to keep throwing money at it to tread water. But what it really needs, if there's a next step for this piano, is that we try and build up that exoskeleton again, try and, you know, restore some sort of load bearing to that brace in the steel plate, and simply focus on the high end. Just try and bring these notes in to unison with the rest of the piano. And if it will allow us to do that, then that's enough of a step forward to feel like, okay, we're on a maintenance plan of once a year for the instrument. If we try it again and we're not getting any improvement, any ability to stabilize the high end, each time we've done it, we've added another layer, and it's floated on us less, but it is still floating. So I'm very up in the air on what's the best thing to do for this piano. It's never going to be a concert instrument. It's a spinet. It's not going to be a concert instrument to begin with. But with that crack, even though we've tried to build up around it, there's still instability. It's, you know, I will put one wire one place and move the neighboring note, and none of them stay. And it's not like they have to move a whole lot for the ear to be able to tell the difference. So I guess a lot of this depends on how much you're playing. I know a client who is selling I have a client who is selling a Yamaha T116 with a humidity control system installed for $3,000. That's an incredible instrument, and would be head and shoulders above this. It's a full-size upright, so it would fit the room differently, but it just depends on how much you're playing, kind of your level of musicianship and what you're going to the piano for. And then we could certainly find you another spinet, which again is the same sort of height of instrument and the same type of action. If we were diligent, we could find one very cheap. You'd still have to move it. It would have to come into the home. It would have to settle. It would have to get tuned. So I'm just not sure how much you're playing, really. The other thing is that this piano, being on the carpet, is only on the carpet on the front. The back wheels are directly on the ground. And so that means that the piano has a tilt to it, which is changing the way some of the components interact. And all those things definitely affect how things settle and how things twist. So I'm going to keep trying to refine the high end, but it's like digging in sand. And it's not as bad as it used to be. So, you know, the epoxy was pretty cheap, and you're not going to get anywhere near a the full price of tuning today, because we're not really making that much headway. I feel like I'm treading water here. So we got to come up with a plan. The next step, if we decide to do it again, the epoxy was not expensive. It was probably less than $10 for the full tube, and then we just use it all on building that pillar back up again. We might try to see if we can apply it in more places than it has been applied before, although I'm pretty sure I've covered the back and front of it. So, all right, that's what I'm running into today.